knows how or why, but some 4,000 million years ago, the planet Earth came into being. In that time, life has evolved on its surface and beneath, in its waters and its skies.
Humankind is just one of an unknown number of species of plants and animals that share this world. But we are the ones who hold dominion over all others. And every year we exterminate perhaps 1,000 species in the name of progress, on the pretext of development in pursuit of profit. We are severing the fine strands which make up the web of life, and the Earth is suffering. But still, the killing goes on.
And time is running out. Imagine the complete history of the world condensed into 1 year. A year which began on January the 1st. A few days later, the first bacteria emerged. A miracle of evolution followed, and every expanse of water, layer of mud, and tract of land was inhabited. Jellyfish and spiders didn't make an appearance until the beginning of November. The first ferns popped up on November the 20th, at about the same time as fish began to inhabit the waters. Winged insects took to the air a few days later. From December the 1st until the 15th, dinosaurs ruled unchallenged.
At 15 minutes to midnight on December the 31st, humankind emerged. Just 2 seconds ago, with the start of the Industrial Revolution, we began an onslaught on the Earth which has brought it to its knees. Unlike our largely vegetarian ancestors, the great apes, most of us have chosen to eat meat. But it isn't just meat that we're eating. We are literally devouring the Earth.
Supposedly, we are the most intelligent of all creatures, capable of complex feelings. And what do? We imprison other intelligent creatures in solitary confinement until they go mad. We deny them the ability to fulfill their most basic instincts. We treat their living, feeling young as inanimate commodities. And then we eat them.
Restlessly wandering fowl are crammed into cages too small to even stretch their wings, or are quickly fattened in dank, dark sheds, often crippled by their ballooning weight. And all face the same end in a precision, automated production line. And then we eat them.
Pain and suffering are relative concepts, we are told, in the pursuit of cheap meat. Don't concern yourself, we're told, about the infections which come with cheap meat. Campylobacter, salmonella, mad cow disease. Meat to live, we're told, ignoring the heart disease and bowel cancer and other ailments which go hand in hand with eating meat.
The environment is a fragile, finely woven mantle which is beginning to unravel before our eyes, and meat-eating carries much of the blame.
We have no physical need to eat meat, yet the world now contains 3 times as many farm animals as humans. Nearly all the major environmental problems which enfold the world like a spreading shroud are made worse by livestock farming.
Livestock have a huge appetite for grass and corn and soya and wheat, so much so that nearly 80% of all agricultural land in Britain is used to support them. It takes as much as 10 kilograms of vegetable protein to produce 1 kilogram of meat, the most wasteful recycling program ever devised. So demanding are they that the soil is pushed beyond its capacity to cope, force-fed on a diet of pesticides and fertilizers.
Pesticides are poisons used to kill weeds, insects and fungi. They can and do kill humans. We know that they destroy species other than those they are aimed at and can upset the natural balance of ecosystems. We know that they increase in concentration as bigger creatures eat smaller creatures. A water bird like the grebe at the top of the food chain can have pesticide concentrations in its body 80,000 times stronger than those in the water on which it lives. We know that 50 of the chemicals used are suspected of causing cancer. We know that meat contains around 14 times more residues than vegetables. There are pesticide traces in almost all the food we eat. We know that without the need to feed animals, farmers could return to proper crop rotation. They could farm organically and turn their backs on these nerve gas derivatives.
Constant demands on the land to produce more crops to feed more animals are unsustainable. These hyped-up production levels can be achieved only temporarily by swamping the soil with expensive nitrogen-based fertilizers. Some nitrogen runs into streams and rivers, spurring the growth of algae, boosting bacteria, and choking all life from the water. Some filters down into underground reservoirs, where it pollutes our drinking water. And we're left with the constant fear of damage to our children through blue baby syndrome and possible cancers. And yet, if we stop eating animals, the whole population could be fed from just 30% of the land, with no need for chemical fertilizers. It would breathe again, regenerate itself, recover its health.
The world has a new problem. An endless supply of animal excreta stored in slurry form. 100 times more polluting than human waste, it just keeps on accumulating, too prolific to be absorbed by the land. Bacteria turn its ammonia into acid. It evaporates, joins with nitrous oxide from fertilizers, combines with industrial pollution and forms acid rain. Its legacy is sour, unproductive soil and dead and dying forests, rivers and lakes. Almost forgotten in the avalanche of other environmental disasters, acid rain is devastating the northern habitats of Europe and America. In some countries, slurry is its principal cause. An end to livestock production would dramatically slow the decay. The spreading hole in the ozone layer is a time bomb which has begun to tick. It could explode at any time. Ozone, high in the sky, protects us from the sun's damaging ultraviolet light. That protection is being diminished. The process by which it happens is extremely complicated, and CFCs from aerosols and insulating foam are the main offenders. But agriculture makes a significant contribution by burning, with fertilizers, and from direct methane emissions from cows. We know that ozone depletion will result in increased skin cancers, eye cataracts, and a weakening of the human immune system. If ozone is reduced by 10%, germination of seeds will be affected. We know that some newly hatched fish will be killed, and we fear that phytoplankton, the main vegetation of the oceans, may be destroyed. With it will go the basis of the ocean's food chain and a vital source of oxygen. That is with a 10% reduction. It is believed that the newly discovered hole over the USA and Europe will show reductions of 40%. We are paying a